Oh, hey there. This is Bruce Parker. This is Clueless Sports Fan and Mr. Gaming Guitars. Because he is the Clueless Sports Fan, unlike me. The other day, somebody told me that I was a football genius. While I do know a lot about football, I don't consider myself that. In fact, I don't consider myself a genius at all. Smart? Sure, why not? I get good grades. You know, I know my things, my ins and outs. You know, but I don't consider myself a genius nonetheless. And for someone to call me a genius, you know, I mean, it's all right and whatnot, you know. But what I'm here to tell you about is the latest sports news, because I was afraid that we were about to get off topic that time. So let's start off. You know what? We're gonna make this episode about 2012 in sports. And let's face it, a lot happened this year in sports. Good and bad. I guess the best way you can start this off by is by showing you an image of this dude. Yes, the man that everyone at one point hated. Everyone. But it seems like after he won the title, his first, as well as, you know, MVP again, gold medal at the Olympics, it seems like everyone just kind of toned down and realized, you know what, this dude, not so bad. You know? Obviously, you know, there's still a lot of haters, but that's normal. Why? Because he's good. But there's no doubt that LeBron is one of the most well-known athletes in the world. Like, you can just see him, or you can just hear the name, and bam, you know who he is. Another person that I should bring up, that I'm pretty sure that a lot of people like, most likely more than LeBron.
You know that you're forgetting the formula, right? You asked me a question, and I have to answer.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just going over this.
You're just setting it up?
Yeah. Messi!
It's funny, we don't even know if they can see it or not.
I'm pretty sure they can see that. Maybe. If they like look really closely. But at least I'm saying it for you, so I'm not gonna assume that you have the best vision in the world. But Messi is obviously one of the most famous athletes in the whole world. And you know, it helps when you play a sport that's beloved all around the world, as in football or soccer.
Yeah, all beloved around the world except America.
But obviously with a guy like Messi, who recently broke the record for the most goals scored in one calendar year, it's no surprise that this guy, who's only 24, he's only 24, he's already being considered one of the all-time greats.
Damn, I didn't know Jack Bauer played soccer.
Oh, I get it. That was a bad one, though. That was a bad joke.
I know.
Anyway, well, since we're talking 2012 in sports, might as well,
Hey, you like my Greg Norman hat? And his cow parade hat?
I didn't even know what I was wearing, to be honest.
Do you know who Greg Norman is?
Oh, yeah, he's a golfer.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, golfer.
I just saw a shark and it looked cool, so I got
Ooh,
it.
a shark. I'm gonna buy that. It's kind of like looking at, it's like, ooh, a horse. I'm gonna buy that. Or, ooh, an alligator. I'm gonna buy that.
Damn straight.
So.
Except this polo shirt. Yeah, it's polo. Doesn't
Yeah.
have any. Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas. Red, green. Spreading the holiday cheer.
Nutcracker swagger.
Nutcracker. No, I'm just kidding.
So, might as well ask Jaron what he can recall on in terms of sports in the year 2012. And what some of his favorite moments were, and what some of his worst moments were in the sports world of 2012. So, what's the one thing that comes to mind when it comes to sports this year? What's the one thing that sticks out more than any other topic, any other story, any other athlete, game, just anything? What?
Penn State.
Ah.
Was that even this year?
Well, it occurred in November last year, but the sanctions were handed out this year. So it's fair enough. Fair enough, right? Yeah. I think I'll allow that.
No. I'm just fucking. The thing that, of course, I'll always the Olympics.
Yeah. And what is it you liked or did not like about the Olympics?
What I didn't like is how NBC always just edits a bunch of footage too much. Well, we all hate NBC anyway. You murdered my favorite channel, you fucking assholes! You killed G4! Anyway. And you know, just seeing it just brought back memories of you used to seeing Olympics before.
True.
And it's funny how it took place in London and England barely won shit.
But they did win. Obviously, a lot of the, you know, like the big ones. Well, I mean, they didn't win all the big ones, but they won some big ones that were meaningful to their country, so to speak. And even if it wasn't, it still brought. Well, they still won gold medals. I mean, they didn't win a lot, but especially Mo Farah, his was like wow. The whole country was watching that. Kind of like how all of America was watching. You know, Phelps. We were watching the Fab Five, as some like to call them.
The Fab Five. The Beatles have a new member.
Really? You know that there's another sports team that were considered the Fab Five. They were Michigan's college basketball team, and they call them the Fab Five. But this is the new Fab Five with the gymnasts.
But I'll
be honest. I know
people are calling the new basketball team. Of course, the American team is all people care about, even people around the world.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, seriously, what else is there in basketball besides the NBA? But it was funny how everyone just kept calling them the Dream Team.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, our basketball team was really good, of course. And a lot of people had questions because of our health. Obviously, you know, a lot of players were injured. But it was great that... But it just showed how great America is when it comes to basketball. Even when some of our best stars or starters were, you know, not playing, we still had these other guys that were still really good that could, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you see that?
But I, for
cow
one,
parade, motherfucker, cow parade.
Now, one thing I do want to, since we're on the Olympics topic, we all know about the whole tape delay controversy.
The what?
Tape delay. Remember how a lot of the program events were delayed by NBC? They didn't show them live, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Exactly. So I want to add on to that. I, to no surprise, protested against this whole tape delay mess, right? And unfortunately, I did have to watch some things online, you know, that I shouldn't be, but let's face it, everyone wanted to get their hands on these big events, right? So I went to some website that happened to be shown BBC One. That's pretty much where everyone watched these big... Because they showed them live, unlike NBC. And it was fun, despite the bad quality. But nonetheless, it was fun to watch.
Is that where you saw Michael Phelps' last swim live?
Yes. I just
watched it on NBC, waited until midnight.
I saw Usain Bolt. I saw some of his big races on online too. I saw the Fab Five on NBC just because I don't see myself watching gymnastics online. Like I can watch track, I can watch swimming, but I can't watch gymnastics online. It just feels better at home. But
does this hat make me look weird?
It makes you look funny. Yeah.
Good. Then my goal is done here.
What else? Okay, so aside from the Olympics, what else stood out for you? Oh, one of my favorite things came out of the Olympics. Michaela Maroney is not impressed.
Oh.
That was that was a funny one.
What about the Brooklyn Nets?
The Brooklyn Nets, of course. Yeah.
That was a complete surprise to me. When I first saw it, it was weird. I thought, Brooklyn... What happened to the New Jersey Nets? Man, oh, that's how I kind of felt. Because, you know, they were part of my childhood. 2003 Sports Fan.
I think like everyone was really embracing it because they knew that Brooklyn would be a better market, and they knew that they needed a fresh start because let's face it just wasn't working in New Jersey anymore as it used to, you know. So I was you know, I'm not a fan of them, but I was excited to see how they would do as a team and as a brand. Yes, as a brand, you know, because obviously Jay-Z is he's a minority owner of that team. You know what I mean? So it's no surprise that Jay-Z ended up having like 8 concerts at the new Barclays Center, which is where they play.
Barkley, as in they named it after Charles Barkley. I am an asshole. Remember when you read that out loud?
Yeah.
Weight Watchers, lose your weight and keep your meatballs.
Oh, man.
I'm Charles Barkley. This is the worst impression in the world.
The worst impression in the world. That's terrible.
I am not a role model. I'm terrible for my chat rant. I'm Charles Barkley. I bark like a dog. Woof, woof, motherfucker. Charles Barkley. What else you got for us, KAKK new?
What's the athlete who you felt had the biggest year? Personally, I think it was LeBron because there was so much pressure on him, and then he delivered. You know what I mean?
I know. No one was expecting him to be good in that Samsung Galaxy Note 2 commercial.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure when you know that there's a bunch of angry Apple fans. You know, this episode feels like it won't be as entertaining.
Yeah, because it's like we're trying to say as much as we can about 2012 as a whole in sports, but it's hard to, you know, just for me and you to talk. See, if I was talking about it on my own, I would probably go on for way too long, you know?
Yeah.
That's when you start to realize this is going nowhere.
What
happened to this episode?
This episode is shit. This episode is shit. Go watch the Gaming Corner, because it is much better than this piece of shit. We attempted to make this episode good, but it's clearly not working. I'm gonna put this on YouTube anyway, because I don't give a fuck.